Man United faces issue with Maguire's future. Zirkzee facing tough times at Manchester United. Qatar's plans for Manchester United's rebuild in 3 days. Bruno Fernandes, Manchester United's key player or weak link. Harry Maguire is facing an uncertain future as his contract with Manchester United nears its end. The English centre-back has attracted interest from several clubs. Manchester United is currently dealing with major challenges in negotiating a new deal for Maguire. The situation is becoming more complicated as his contract will expire at the end of the season, meaning he can sign a pre-contract agreement with clubs outside the Premier League starting on January 1st. For Manchester United, this is an unwanted situation, especially since Maguire is considered an important player under manager Ruben Amorim. Maguire's current deal runs through the summer of 2025, but United has the option to extend it by 1 more year, taking it to 2026. However, if Maguire signs a deal with a foreign club during the upcoming January transfer window, United will be unable to trigger this option. This situation presents a significant risk for United, as they could lose Maguire without receiving any transfer fee. Tensions are rising, with Maguire able to negotiate with clubs outside the Premier League in just 2 weeks. Several clubs have expressed interest in him, including Napoli and Fenerbahce. Napoli sees Maguire as a logical addition to their defense, especially after their successful move for Scott McTominay, a former teammate of Maguire at United. Meanwhile, Fenerbahce, managed by Jose Mourinho, is also planning to sign Maguire. Recently, they brought in former United players Fred and Sofian Amrabat. Additionally, domestic clubs like Leicester City are closely monitoring Maguire's situation. The English star had a successful spell at King Power Stadium before moving to United for a record £80 million in 2019. Losing Maguire to another club would be a significant blow for United, particularly as his form has improved greatly in recent months. After a challenging period, Maguire is now performing impressively and consistently delivering solid displays whenever he gets the chance to play. Recently, he impressed the football world by keeping Erling Haaland completely in check during the Manchester Derby. Clearly, despite past difficulties, Maguire has bounced back strongly and is now considered a key part of the team. Manager Ruben Amorim appreciates Maguire's leadership and sees him as an important figure in the 3 center-back system he's using. Recently, Maguire has had more opportunities to start. To resolve this issue, Manchester United must act quickly. They need to find a way to keep Maguire at Old Trafford after the winter transfer window and convince him to sign a long-term deal. The key factor will be the salary offer, as Ineos is implementing a wage-cutting strategy. Still, the club should offer Maguire a competitive salary that is enough to persuade him. Joshua Zirkzee, the forward for Manchester United, is going through one of the toughest periods of his career and personal life since joining the club this summer for £36.5 million from Bologna. According to reports from GSM, Zirkzee and Kerr, who were known as a long-term couple since Zirkzee joined Bayern Munich at 16, have officially broken up. Kerr has been by Zirkzee's side through many phases of his career, from Bayern Munich to Bologna, as well as during his loan spells at Parma and Anderlecht. However, since Zirkzee's move to Manchester United, cracks in their relationship have started to show. Kerr has not been seen with Zirkzee, and they haven't posted any pictures together over the past summer. Recently, they were discovered to have unfollowed each other on social media, and Kerr even deleted posts related to Zirkzee, including an old advertisement for JD Sports. On the field, Zirkzee made an impressive start by scoring in his debut against Fulham. However, his form quickly dipped with only 4 goals in 25 appearances. Under new manager Ruben Amorim, Zirkzee has often found himself playing second fiddle to Rasmus Højlund. He has started just 10 matches and is under immense pressure following some poor performances, especially in the 0-3 loss to Bournemouth, where he was substituted after 54 minutes. Facing both career and personal struggles, Joshua Zirkzee seems to be going through a challenging time. On the upcoming Boxing Day, he will have a chance to prove himself when Manchester United faces Wolves at Molineux. Whether Zirkzee can overcome this rough patch and salvage his season remains a big question. Sheikh Jassim and a group of Qatari investors had a bold plan to rebuild Manchester United in just 3 days with their Project Ruby, which aimed to wipe out debt, build a new stadium, and usher the club into a new era of prosperity. When Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani and the Qatari investment group entered the race to acquire Manchester United, they brought hope for change and laid out an ambitious plan called Project Ruby. The plan was designed to revive Manchester United within 3 days, marking the beginning of a completely new era for the club. On day 1, Sheikh Jassim would announce the completion of the Manchester United takeover. On day 2, he intended to wipe out all of the club's debt, a massive burden nearing £1 billion that United has been carrying since the Glazers acquired the club through borrowing. At the same time, the club would be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange to remove the influence of foreign shareholders. On the final day, the plan for a new stadium would be revealed. This would be a state-of-the-art venue with a flexible capacity ranging from 45,000 to 100,000 seats, designed to meet the needs of both the men's and women's teams. According to the Qatari investors, the stadium will be entirely funded by the football club, with no taxpayer money involved. This means that if they acquired Manchester United, the construction of the new stadium would be fully financed by the club's own resources under their ownership and management. The Qatari investors would not rely on public funds, meaning no government or taxpayer money would be used. In addition to the stadium, Sheikh Jassim committed to investing in the women's team, planning to build a dedicated training center for them in Manchester, similar to how PSG, also owned by Qatari investors, did for their women's team. Fans were also included in the long-term vision with plans to set up a funding scheme that would allow them to own shares in the club. Additionally, legends like Sir Alex Ferguson and members of the Class of '92, including David Beckham and Gary Neville, would be invited to join an advisory board to contribute to the club's development. Richard Scudamore, the former Premier League chief executive, and Ross Brawn, a top expert from Formula One, were also being considered for involvement to bring stability and international vision. Despite the promising plans, Sheikh Jassim and the Qatari investment group failed to acquire Manchester United. While the Qatar side made 5 official offers, the final one being $6.1 billion, they couldn't reach an agreement with the Glazers. Sheikh Jassim began to feel exploited as the terms kept changing, and the proposed price far exceeded Manchester United's actual value. One of his advisors shared, "We felt like we were being pushed too far. They kept changing the goals and we crossed the line too many times." Another factor that affected the deal was Sheikh Jassim's quiet approach. While his rival, Sir Jim Ratcliffe of Ineos, frequently made public appearances, meeting fans and the media, Sheikh Jassim remained more secretive. This led to criticism and doubt about his actual involvement. Ratcliffe even mocked, "No one has ever met him. I'm not sure he even exists." These jabs not only frustrated the Qatari group but also hurt their public image. However, those close to Sheikh Jassim insisted this was simply his style. "We work quietly, and only when the deal is done do we act decisively," one advisor explained. After the failure of the Qatari bid, Manchester United ended up in the hands of Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Nearly 12 months later, the club has not only failed to improve but has sunk deeper into crisis. On the pitch, United currently sits 13th in the Premier League, 17 points behind Liverpool, and just suffered a 0-3 loss to Bournemouth at Old Trafford. Off the pitch, Ineos's cost-cutting policies have led to 250 layoffs, while ticket prices have risen to £66, even for children and seniors. The only positive sign for Manchester United is that Sheikh Jassim has not given up hope. He remains a loyal fan of the club and has no intention of investing in any other Premier League team. Project Ruby is still on the table, and if an opportunity to fully acquire Manchester United arises, Sheikh Jassim will undoubtedly return. One advisor said, "Sheikh Jassim is still very wealthy and a loyal supporter of Man United. If the opportunity comes, he'll definitely return. The plan remains." Thanks for tuning in to MU Daily Zone. We hope you enjoyed today's updates on all things Manchester United. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your fellow Red Devils, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll always stay updated with the latest news. Until next time, stay passionate, stay united. See you soon.